People don't say much about Ford's culture in its factories in America. But here is a story that you need to hear about. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to have you here. It's another awesome day on planet Earth. And when I hear stories like this, I have to say, I feel good inside. And this is one of the reasons why I believe Jim Farley is doing an excellent job. Ford's culture at their factories in the USA is something to be looked up to. For the second year in a row, a team of employees at Ford in Dearborn is trying to help the city's diverse mix of restaurants stay in business. Yep, restaurants are really struggling around the world, everywhere right now. Less and less people go out to dinner at night. It's obvious. I go out to restaurants here every now and again, and I can just see they're quiet and they're struggling. And they have been now for 2 years thanks to COVID. This program from Ford was developed as a team building event and led by Robert Nino, Senior Program Coordinator for Ford. The program rolled out in February 2021 and was called the Brontosaurus Burger Challenge. Originally planned to last a couple of months, it was extended until the end of the year as the pandemic continued. Our main objective was to bring attention to the restaurant situation, they're struggling, and have our staff support the featured restaurants every week, Nino said. When we saw the conditions were not improving for these businesses, and we saw working remotely was continuing because of COVID, we extended the event until the end of the year. So essentially Ford have said, you know what, because our staff are working remotely, many of them are, lots of the Ford staff no longer working in the factory. It means that these local restaurants and these local businesses are really, really struggling. So they thought, how can we help them? This year, they came up with a name called the Brontosaurus Burger Challenge in honor of Ford's new, for 2022, Bronco. By the way, the Bronco, it looks cool, but no EV, no sale. So don't buy one. Just my advice. The Brontosaurus Burger is a code word for donating when ordering from the restaurant chosen each week from a list that Nino and other Ford employees have come up with. If you add a Brontosaurus Burger to your order, you won't actually get food. The restaurant will add a $10 donation to your bill. Or you can just donate without the code word. But using the code word is kind of like a nice way of doing it anonymously. Donating is a great way to support restaurants and businesses that have lost a lot of money over the past couple of years, thanks to people working remotely and businesses in many places, in many states, in many countries worldwide being shut down. And I genuinely feel sorry for a lot of these companies. I have, on a few occasions, donated some small amounts of money to them, just given tips. And I know that's common in the US, but in Australia here, we don't really give tips. Most countries, we don't. The tipping is not a thing. So I have tried to go out of my way a little bit to make that happen. And I'm not saying this to say that I'm big noting myself or anything like that. I'm just saying that I've only done it because I've gone there and I've genuinely gone, wow, I feel sorry for these guys. There's no one coming here. How are they staying in business? I don't understand. And it's been such a difficult couple of years for these businesses that you can't help but feel sorry for them. So many have shut down. So many of them, imagine the income they would have made. It would have just been terrible. I don't know how they've been living on it. Getting back to the Ford story, Nino and other Ford employees have a list of restaurants named, with one chosen every week through towards the end of the year. So they've done this for 2 straight years now. They have 42 restaurants on their list this year. Nearly all of the restaurants are in Dearborn, with some in surrounding communities such as Sabina's Polish restaurant in Melvindale. During its week, the chosen restaurant will have a sign posted about the challenge and anyone can donate. You'll find the list at Ford.com. So if you want to donate to any of these businesses, you can jump. I'll put a link in the description below to this list on Ford.com. Nino said there are Ford employees who participate, but people who don't work at Ford have also donated after seeing the sign, which is really cool. Sort of like they've started a movement almost. They are staying in business one customer at a time, Nino said. It's a reminder to not forget those people who still need our support. It's a way of showing our gratitude. At Noah's Deli in Dearborn, which is on the list for April the 4th to the 10th, owner Teresa Bodan said she was appreciative of the challenge to support small business last year, as a lot of her Ford customers just haven't returned. It was a fun thing to do, Boland said. I think it's nice that Nino is wanting to support the small businesses and keep them in business for their employees to have a nice place to have lunch. But I don't think it's just about that. I think ultimately here, Ford is really, well, at least its employees. For some reason, they're building a culture that is attempting to lift those up around them. And I think this is the kind of positivity that makes a huge difference in the place where you go to work. You go to work every day, and most of us work. And this is the kind of thing where I think it can turn a workplace from a place where you just see it as drudgery into a place where people lift each other up and you see it as a positive thing, a place where you want to go. You want to be around other people. The culture in a workplace often determines completely whether or not you actually enjoy going to work or whether or not you hate it. This year's list includes long-standing Dearborn staples Miller's Bar, Freddy's Pizza, and Bangkok 96, which I'm guessing serves Thai food. Once again, I'll put a link in the description below to that list. But really, this video ultimately, I just made it because I thought maybe you could support your local restaurant, your local shops, rather than always buying online, always buying from Amazon or wherever you buy things online, Walmart. Why don't we just sort of get together and try and support some of our local community? Go out to dinner at night, buy something locally, buy a frying pan from a local store rather than buying it online from Amazon. Let's support our local community because right now, they definitely need our help.